Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast here on August 21st, 2019. It has been a very crazy month as we've concluded BronyCon and discussed our conclusion of BronyCon on the last podcast 2 weeks ago. Since then, there's been more adventure to be had. And we'll get into that in just a bit. But to kick things off here, I'm ACRacebest. Hello. Your Toodles. Hello.
Yes, I'm Toodles. Hello.
Your Laura. Hello.
Hello.
Your Laura. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
There
Your
it is.
Paleo. Hello.
There it goes.
Hi.
Your Saberspark. Hello.
Hello.
And your Three Stooges PanamaMatt. Hello.
Indubitably, hello.
I just
He
realized.
goes by many names.
I was gonna say, like, have we ever referred to Matt as Three Stooges?
No.
No.
We used to call history lesson. So Matt, the first time I ever met Matt was with the name Three Stooges, and we all
No.
called him. Yeah. We call him TS.
There you go.
Well, but it was because your name was Three Stooges, right?
I mean, you're leaving out some history.
Am I?
So is
No.
Matt like three children in a trench coat?
Yeah, would
Yes.
explain the height.
Explain the height, yes.
It explains so much more.
Except one problem: I don't own a trench coat.
Dang.
You're a lawyer. You own something else. We do have super chats, by the way.
Exio Dying says Raisin Saber almost got kicked out of Walgreens. That is a true fact.
That is a
What?
very true fact.
Like a Walgreens?
Yeah.
How did
You
you do that?
That was at Pacific PonyCon, I think, the first year. We stopped at a Walgreens, and Saber and I were playing with the toys. And
Oh.
The staff didn't like it very much.
the cashier that you were working with didn't realize you were with us
Mhm.
and was like talking crap about
yeah,
us.
and I was just like,
You're like, yeah, those idiots in the back are just idiots.
No, we were freaking out because we found like Nosferatu action figures.
yeah.
From Phantom of the Opera.
We were laughing, saying like, can you imagine some kid who's like, oh boy, Christmas stocking, and pull out like, yeah, a Phantom of the Opera action figure, and be like, okay,
Are you kidding me? I would have loved that as a kid.
There was
you're
also
an exception.
Yeah, there was also a Star Wars mask, so we were having a lot of traitor
Oh
moments.
yeah, that was around
Yeah.
the time.
Traitor.
So welcome in Semi-Perfect Podcast. One thing we're going to be talking about here today will be a recap of Alicon. I went up to Australia and I survived.
Mhm.
We'll also
You
be
didn't get
catching
eaten?
up. Surprisingly, not completely. We'll be also recapping MLP episodes, and I'm sure Sarah, I'm looking here. Oh yeah, we got our whole kind of thing going here. So yeah, we're gonna start off with food posts.
Mhm.
For those that are new, food posts are a thing that we like to do at the beginning here, where people show us what they're eating because we're all always hungry. So, what are people eating during the podcast? Oh yeah.
You don't like pickles, and I learned that the chicken for Chick-fil-A sandwiches are like marinated in pickles.
Yep.
yeah.
They call
Shit.
it brining.
There you go.
Your
marinated
life.
pickle.
It's an entire lie.
Yeah, dude. Enjoy your next pickle sandwich.
It's all right. I also don't like pickles, but I do enjoy Chick-fil-A.
Enjoy your poop sandwich.
You just don't taste it.
Well.
Apparently got it.
Yeah.
Stupid. I
Hold on, we should tell that story. There was a story like from 4chan about like some kid who like went to his lunchroom with a Nutella sandwich and was like slathered the Nutella in the bread. And some guy leaned over, he's like, "Hey, what do you eat? A poop sandwich?" Ah! And the kid was like, "No, it's not poop, I swear."
I actually just did a legitimate spit take when you told that. Like there's water all over me now. Wow, that's really disheartening. About the pickle
Yeah.
situation. I will say though, like it's kind of like when they cook with like alcohol.
Mhm.
Like I don't like alcohol, but like if I don't know if it's like a flavoring technique, I don't know. God damn it!
All right, first up, we got anime guy got some butter and chocolate chip croissants for the podcast tonight. Those look delicious.
finish that croissant.
Croissant. Beautiful.
Oh, here we go. You're speaking my language, Taylor.
Mhm.
Have here a carne asada burrito with a side of taquitos and guacamole. That right there is
That's-
an American dinner. I'm sorry, a Californian dinner is what I meant to say.
That is a gracious serving of guacamole.
No, that is like the right amount of guacamole. Maybe
Holy crap, that's a lot.
yeah.
That is
That's-
a lot.
that's
Where's
like
the rest of the food?
No, that's good though. Like,
That is
avocado,
good.
It's a good fat, so you can never have enough.
yeah, you can tell looking at it just by the coloring and the nice like shine on that guacamole that is some good guacamole.
You know the way the sun hits the guacamole.
When the moon hits your guacamole
The way
in
the
the
light
eye,
bounces off the curves of the burrito.
it's guacamole. I messed that up so bad.
Yeah.
Auto Night.
But you
That's
committed
Princess-
to it.
I did. Well, yeah. Princess Deadpool says before and after pics. Oh, here we go. Before and after pictures of my meal for tonight. New York steak with a baked potato and broccoli. Also, that 70s show playing in the back.
That's good.
Before.
Oh, I see. Okay, I thought it was
I
going
like
to be
it.
an empty
That's
plate.
cute.
Here's after.
All right.
Nice. The mashed
good.
potatoes. Oh wait, no, that's baked potatoes. It almost looks mashed because it's so well.
Baked potatoes.
And then it's stock, and then broccoli,
Nice. Broccoli.
and a mic,
And a mic.
and the podcast in the background. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
Language.
Mm.
Fuck you.
Whoa.
Apparently, Evie has an algorithm that it can detect when people say "fuck" in videos, and it'll
Whoops.
demonetize it.
Yeah,
Stop
we
listening to
don't.
us.
Oh fuck! I didn't mean to say "fuck." I'm sorry.
I thought that was
You
only
take
like
some
the first
fuck
couple
and some
minutes.
shit and some fuck and some shit. You gotta whoa, Missy! in the
Oh, you
house!
gotta sing.
Missy in the house.
Missy.
Missy's in the house, in the house, in the house, Missy in the house.
Missy
Super
says,
chat.
Whoop, whoop.
Pinkie Pie thing from Hasbro. Help me! I almost thought I was watching one of Saber's movie reviews.
Oh my
So
God,
there was
right?
like a series that's coming out on the YouTube.
It's a series? I thought it was
I
just
think
like
it's
a
like a
joke
little
commercial.
No, I think
Oh
it's like
my.
a short
Wait, what's
series.
it called now?
It's like
It's
I don't
like-
know. It's the Pinkie Pie
it's
show
like Pinkie
or whatever.
Ask Pinkie Pie. or
Who
something?
said it was a series?
I thought
Pinkie
it
Pie?
was. It presents itself as
Pinkie
one.
Pie did say that.
Like it presents itself as one.
Oh my gosh!
I thought
If
that
it is, that might be
was.
Brony's React.
I really
Halloween
hope that they
material.
don't do any more of those.
Well,
Just-
I mean, like I thought the anthology guys they do a better job with their models.
SFM.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hair, like the hair texture. Like
No,
what
it
the
was
fuck?
Sarah, this F word is all over our podcast.
Well, I mean, it's not like we I don't
Fucking
we don't-
care? No, we don't. So,
Got Chris.
welcome into the
Podcast puts food on the table. How dare you?
Are you talking about this Pinkie Pie thing where she's all like 3D and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
What
at
if
the My
that's-
Little Pony official wiki or not,
Gen 5, guys. It's coming.
She
Yeah,
is
right.
apparently getting her very own vlog.
Uh huh. Okay.
No, thank you.
All right, we got Chris. Got myself an egg salad sandwich for the show tonight. Yum.
You know, egg salad sandwiches
On
are
French
underrated. I
bread.
don't think they're appreciated enough.
That's just
French
because it's hard to make good egg salad.
Like when I think of past egg salad sandwiches, I have nothing to complain about. As long as they don't like sit for too long.
Yeah.
Like a day.
That's true for most things involving egg in its natural form.
And food. Oh well.
Well, we're gonna have to see what this image is. Just survived my first few days. Oh, first of all, it says just survived my first few days of college. Now I can settle down, relax, and watch my favorite people on my favorite podcast with some Cape Cod chips
I
and
wonder
some
which
smart water.
podcast.
I hope after
wonder which
taking it,
people.
I can gain back enough knowledge to for the rest of my freshman year.
All right, let's see if this is.
Whoa,
Oh, it's
sensitive
porn.
content. Oh god.
Look at
Smart
the
one.
gape on that bag.
God.
Scanned.
Man, I
Oh
want to
my
get all up in that, you know.
I can
Fuck,
see the
dude.
insides.
Good Lord.
It's so revealing.
Good luck on college. We wished you the best.
What happened to
Thank
this
you for
podcast?
listening.
What are you talking about? I'm having a great time.
Amen. I got my Zootopia cup with its sippy cup on top. So
There we go. Morgan having some lettuce wrapped shrimp faux boy with a veggie bake.
were you just like going like hip? Oh boy.
Totally spelled that wrong, but that's okay. There's the lettuce wrap with the stuff in it.
I like that it's just sitting on like a laptop. It looks like.
Yep.
It's a plate.
Is that a plate?
It's a fancy plate,
Do you not use plates?
but it's like overlapping the keyboard.
It looks.
It's a tall plate.
So
It's
if you showed
perfect
this, if you showed this to me, I'd assume that it was lettuce and banana.
Oh shoot, I was looking at the wrong post. Never wrong. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What's the shrimp lettuce wraps?
Yep, it's a lettuce wrap with shrimp
Yeah.
faux boy.
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 I'm ready. I'm ready for this one because it's Norm Mermaid saying, yo, Semi Perfect Podcast, having these awesome cookies while doing some secret planning shush.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
nice cookies. They got the ABCs on them and the 1, 2, 3s. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it
Hold
does
on,
have the
hold
1, 2,
on.
3s.
Nora, are you doing better from your stitches?
Yeah. How you
mentioned
doing?
that. Well, wait with weighted breath. Weighted
Yeah.
breath, baby breath.
We will not continue until we hear back.
Meanwhile,
So moving on.
Hold on, real quickly. I'm sorry, Matt. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, Fritz in the chat here is just wondering why his tweets always get censored.
I don't know.
Fritz, we know why your tweets always get censored.
he says the F word too much.
Yeah, you need to watch that.
What are y'all's opinion on big old sugar cookies like that?
Okay, go back to the cookie.
No joke. I see this. This one is debated pretty often where folks are like, "Oh, I hate sugar cookies," and I'm like, "Really? Like,
I
think
love
they go
these.
pretty
These
good."
kind of cookies, I
Yeah.
could eat a box of these things.
I like sugar cookies, but I don't like those kind of sugar cookies.
Elaborate.
So
You like the ones
the
with
sugar
more
the
crunch.
the sugar cookies I like without the frosting. The regular type of sugar
Hell
cookies.
no. I mean, I like those too.
Unless we're going into the unless we're getting into the snickerdoodle territory, I much more prefer these types of sugar cookies. It's the texture for me, the soft kind of squishiness
dude.
of them, butteriness.
Dude, a big old
It's
cup of
kind of
milk.
cakey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then again, I like softer cookies. I'm not.
If it
As
has
much of a fan of
frosting, it's
crunchy.
not a cookie. It's a cake.
What kind
Well,
of
that's
dumb
just simply
logic-
untrue.
So an Oreo's a cake.
Brownies have frosting.
Oreos are overrated. I'm sorry, Kari in the chat.
I wasn't
Oh,
asking.
damn.
I was
I know
not
she
asking
loves
how
Jesus,
Oreos,
you
but
rate it.
Paleo.
Oreos are really overrated.
We're gonna get banned from YouTube if we keep going on.
Oreo's probably one of their sponsors.
We certainly won't be sponsored by Nabisco, that's for sure.
And
How could you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Nora says the stitches came out last week. I am fine.
Excellent.
Hooray.
No,
Keep it that way.
I am one with these type of cookies for sure. PXY says just ranted about climate change and how nothing's being done about it. It's time to
Hey,
cool
me
out
too.
with some SPP comfort food acquired.
I was gonna make a joke about that. How I told Paleo earlier today how like the Amazon forest is like burning down. And folks are like, "But Spider-Man."
That's him.
The forest isn't going anywhere. Spider-Man might be in trouble, okay?
Bread,
We only
chicken,
get
Horse
one
is definitely going somewhere.
mac and cheese. Got a biscuit. Got mashed
That
potatoes
looks good.
with what's on the plate?
That's a good
What's on the
southern
mashed
hearty
potatoes?
meal right there. What?
Laura, that looks like a home place.
It
I
does
think
That
look
looks
like
like
a
a very thick white gravy.
It looks like a turkey gravy.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
I
at least
can't
I
eat
hope
gravy because I was wheat in it, so I'm not versed in kinds of gravy.
You poor thing.
Don't worry, we're southern.
Have you ever- Wait, stupid question.
Yes.
Does cornstarch have gluten?
No,
This
but most of the
corn-
time, like I think gravy is.
Does corn
Has
have
wheat.
corn?
has
Is corn
wheat.
grass?
Does corn have corn?
Corn is a grain.
You didn't even have to starch has corn. He just has corn has corn.
I've met people who think butter is a dairy, and I just want to slap them.
It is a dairy.
No, it's not.
It's.
I mean, well, there's technically more fat to it.
fat.
That
Sarah,
point.
can you eat dairy?
No.
Can you eat butter?
No.
Therefore,
There
butter
you
is
go.
dairy.
Well, I forgot that Sarah's
doesn't mean-
fucking standard who decides everything.
Wait,
Just
wait,
keep
I'm gonna Google this.
how is butter not dairy?
It's a fat.
It's fat from dairy. It's dairy fat.
It's a dairy product.
Butter is a
Say-
tasty, high-fat dairy product made
Yeah.
from
Saber.
milk.
You can't trust
Saber.
the internet.
Saber.
That's true.
It's cheese dairy.
How are you
It's cheese dairy.
patronizing me?
Cheese dairy.
Is this how you do it in court? Is a gun a weapon?
I'm the one asking the questions here. You're out of order.
I knew you would
Podcast
contend.
out of order.
This whole court is out of order.
How dare you.
I'm gonna counter C with a blue eyes white dragon. All right,
But
continue.
you
All right.
you failed to account for my motion that I've set down on the desk in trap formation.
Son of a bitch. All right, so yeah,
Your
butter's
blue
a
eyes dragon goes to the
non-dairy.
graveyard.
Let's move on.
Very good. Very good. I'm glad we discussed the important topics for anyone that's new to the show. We leave nothing unclean. All right. Soren has got a couple posts here saying, post 1 to 3, back to watching No Food With Me tonight. So here are fried green tomatoes from BronyCon 2019. I missed last week because I was knocked out in bed with confluenza. It was incredible getting to meet all of you, getting a hug from ACRacebest Saberspark, getting to say hi to Toodles, and talking to Matt about tennis and law, etc. Thank you so much. BronyCon 2019 was life-changing. I think I finally found some friends who were accepting of me.
Oh, was it above? Okay.
P.S. And I just want to say this from the bottom of my heart. Saberspark really is worst pony.
Oh
Wow.
Shots fired.
Nicely done, Soren.
Look at these fried green tomatoes. Those
And yeah,
look so
BronyCon was
good.
awesome, and it was good meeting you, Soren.
You talked about tennis?
Heck yeah.
Do you play tennis?
Not as often as I used to, but
Okay.
yes,
I used to play tennis.
we should play sometime.
My racket's back at my parents' house.
All right, you two, calm down.
I have to.
Allison says, I wish I could show a picture, but I made popcorn. Also, Race, do you remember me from BabsCon? You called me Beach Boys, and I was I was at the those guys from this year. I do believe so.
Nice.
I do believe so.
All right, let's check our notifications, see if we've just
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Riddle of Lightning with the art saying that I am now a lettuce wrap.
I'm gonna retweet that.
Retweet that
That
beautiful
is
artwork.
gorgeous.
That was fast. My gosh.
Beautiful.
Riddle of Lightning is lightning speed.
And then we've got Nathaniel saying, made myself a pizza with cauliflower crust topped with Parmesan, Colby sausage, bell peppers, mushrooms, and bacon.
Wow, there's a lot going on.
That looks good.
That's some
Thursday.
heavy duty pizza.
That is a pizza that you get to enjoy twice.
On the way in and on the way out. All right, looks like we've got Food Post.
Did we make it?
Yes, we made
All
it.
right, we made it through Food Post. Thank you for all your submissions on the Food
Yes.
Post. All right, I want to hear about people's weeks, and I'm going to kick this off with Laura because I saw her make an interesting tweet that she met somebody in the last 2 weeks. Laura, what have you been up to?
Well, actually, I'm going to start with a different meeting of a person.
Oh,
So, on Sunday, I went to brunch with a few friends, and I'm sure you all are familiar with the classic YouTube video of the song, the guy singing "What in the Butt."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
a
Yes.
classic, yeah.
So, the man in that video is now a waiter at a restaurant near where I currently live, and we saw him when we went to brunch. So we found out it was in fact him. We checked his Instagram after one person in our group had talked to him, and the person said that they indeed were that guy, and we found out that it was the dude from What in the Butt.
Gabe loves that song, by the way.
So I'm sure that's what you were referring to. Yeah, when you said that I
was
met
it.
somebody.
That was definitely it. Yes.
Yeah. But yesterday, I went to a theater nearby because Patton Oswalt was hosting a bad movie night, and he was there, and I got to meet him, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
That is cool. So you were able to snap a pic, and you were
so after the movie, he was like standing in the lobby and talking to people. So I got a picture, and I brought my big old My Little Pony poster, and he signed it for me, and he was excited that I was wearing a pony shirt, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. That's
really
that's
cool.
cool. Repping the pony fandom. Good
Of
work,
course.
Cora. So this was something that, like, obviously you knew about it going into it. Were there a lot of people there?
The theater was mostly sold out. There were like scattered empty seats, but it was mostly filled.
Nice.
But even then, it was like, it's one movie theater of like however many theaters there are at the building. It was like maybe less than 200 people.
Okay. Nice.
So it wasn't like swamped with people, but it was sizable.
So I need to mention this real quick. We just got a super chat for 1,000 HUFs.
Hungarian
what that is.
Forints.
Which is like $3
And about 39 cents, yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
39 cents. So thank
That's
you,
cool.
Simon.
Thank you, Simon.
I had to do the
Simon.
conversion there. I remember the first time we made that mistake, and we were just all like, "What is someone?" Wow. But so that's cool. Was there anything else, Laura, that was exciting over the last 2 weeks?
Well, probably not more exciting than meeting Patton Oswalt. So
That's
I
worth
kind
asking.
of already told that story. So everything else will just kind of be
True.
lame in comparison if I tell
What-
anything else.
What in the butt?
That too.
That too. What about you, Matt? What have your last 2 weeks been like?
Cool.
That's a very good question. Not a lot of stuff that I can tell you about, unfortunately. But
You can
suffice
talk
to
about
say, it's been good.
What did you do today?
Oh, actually, yeah, I can tell you what I did today. I had court up in Van Nuys, which is not the thing I wanted to tell you about. I met up with Sarah. We played mini golf.
Nice.
See, he calls it mini golf.
And we
She
had
calls it putt-putt.
sushi.
Oh, yeah,
and
so we went out
then
for sushi.
I call it putt putt.
I think it's
It's
cute.
fun to
Because
say.
putt putt goes to the.
Yeah. Whatever. It's that's also a valid.
No, it is right.
Yeah. Okay.
Both
It's
are
just-
correct.
It is. It is
Thank
right.
you for validating my correctness.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So yeah,
Yeah. So we had sushi, and then we played putt putt, and I beat Matt for the first time in like years.
By
I heard-
by 2 whole
You
strokes.
are a competitive person. 'Cause I remember when we played putt putt, we missed a couple of shots, and I'm like, "Oh, she's playing for real." All right, it's Divas. She said the F word. YouTube walked out, blocked her.
the golf referee came out and issued a foul.
Gave her a red card.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, we got another piece of art. I don't know if we want to show this from Riddle of Lightning.
I can.
It's in response to the what in the butt,
Riddle of
now
Lightning, who just wrote putt putt in the butt.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
and now it's what in the brunch.
Ooh.
That's
Oh my
nice.
god, I love it.
Thank you, Riddle of
Should I
Lightning.
Tweet.
Yes, retweet
Retweet.
that. Share the riddles of lightning. We met Riddle of Lightning at MLP MSP, by the way. Very, very fun. Always enjoy it. Going down the line, Paleo, what have your last 2 weeks been like?
Doing a bunch of reviews of stuff. This month's been busy with animation because both the Rocco and Invader Zim special came out on Netflix, and did reviews of those, and they're both good, really great.
Nice.
Yeah.
And also, I want to go see Angry Birds 2. I wasn't too into that, but it's been getting good ratings for some reason. But I wasn't into it at all. But it's also not doing that well at the box office at all. Like, it's doing pretty terribly. It still hasn't made back its budget. It's been out a week.
Freaking birds that are angry.
And also, I've been watching The Boys.
Yes.
which is that show on Amazon Prime. I got one episode left. I was
my
binging
God.
it today. So yeah, it's It's really good. It's like a good like deconstruction of superhero stuff.
I like it a lot.
Sweet. Awesome. Anything else, Paleo?
I don't think so.
So a lot of media intake on your part.
Yeah.
Cool. Saberspark.
I went to Australia. I went to a convention.
Really?
You all might want to wait. I'm going to talk about this for the next 50 minutes.
Did you see my note next to the Alicon?
Yes.
Wow.
As quick as Race can make it.
Wow. Wow. I will do my best to make sure that that doesn't happen.
That's really funny. No, I'm ever since BronyCon, I've kind of fallen back into that status quo of just getting back to work, which I really like. Lonely, but it's good to just kind of get to that grind. It kind of makes you feel like you're doing something to work towards goals. So I said the F word a couple of times too. It was good fun. Here, I'm not gonna let you live that one down. I'm getting you all on that one. But I started playing Minecraft again. Legit though, I've been enjoying it. It's a zen game, and I appreciate that Sarah, the god of the server, made it to where creepers don't blow up your shit. Because I noticed. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
So yeah, it's been fun.
Very cool. Very, very good. Welcome. Toodles, what's new with you?
The RV park that I work at had a car show, and I worked it, and it was a busy day, but it was cool seeing all the cars. We had 75 to 80 cars show up for the show. They all lined up, and some of them won stuff. It was cool. It was a cool event.
Nice.
And other than that, not much other than hanging out with Matt today, which was fun.
Word.
Yeah.
Nice. So, as mentioned, I went to Australia, and I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll spend 50 minutes talking about it.
I will start a timer just to see.
But it's kind of weird to think that in the last 2 weeks, no, not last 2 weeks, more like last 8 days, I've spent 30 plus hours flying.
Yeah, how is that flight?
It's not too bad because half of it is spent sleeping, and it's kind of broken up to where you almost do 4 hours sleep and then 4 hours. So if you've never flown internationally, the flights are a little bit more comfortable. But aside from that, I haven't really gotten to that point yet, that Saber was talking about, of getting back in the groove. Just because it was BronyCon and then still stuff going on, and then all of a sudden, bam, ready to fly out to Australia. So I'm still working on those vlogs. I am back in the States, and yeah, looking to get the next vlog. It would be the Friday vlog out tomorrow.
And shout out to Viva. I see her in this chat.
Viva,
What's up,
Viva! It's so weird. So Australia is 16 hours ahead of us, and that can mess with you. But jet lag wasn't too bad, so I was able to plan it out all right. But yeah, other than that, outside of Alicon, I didn't really have 2 weeks because of everything that's been going on. So I'll get into my stuff a little bit later on. But thank you to everybody for catching us up in your world. So Sarah, I see here that the first note is kind of a sad one.
Yeah. I kind of figured that we would probably get questions about our takes on this, but Richard Williams, who is a master animator, he worked on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He created The Thief and the Cobbler, Raggedy Ann and Andy's Adventures, or something like that. But yeah, he sadly passed away. He was 86. 86. Yeah, makes me sad.
Yeah.
But
so 86 is good. As far as he lived a long life.
Yeah.
Still a tremendous loss. It's I'm always remember him for being like of course super talented, but also being somewhat controversial, not in a like bad way, but he had a very draconian like rule book, as most folks know. And I think one of the big things is like you can't listen to music when you animate, you just animate. That's it. That's your focus. And I always kind of disagreed on that, where it's like, really, no music whatsoever. Like, I don't know, man. But yeah, the guy, his results speak for themselves. He's probably one of the best animators of all time.
How I know, like with you, like with an interest in the industry and all that, like how much did you already know about like Richard Williams? Was he someone that you always had like an eye on?
I mean, as a person who really enjoys animation, and I had aspired to be an animator, but I figured out that wasn't exactly my calling when I, took classes for it and all that. I'm more of like an illustration person, but his works have always inspired me.
Yeah.
Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is like my favorite movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Because she's not bad, she's just drawn that way.
He also
Among
did
other
the
reasons.
Thief and the Cobbler, the Raggedy Ann and Andy movie.
Yeah, it's too bad that the Thief and the Cobbler never had like its finished, finished product. There's like the recobbled cut, which has like a bunch of the
I own that one.
Yeah,
I think that movie, if it was completed, might be one of the like most like animation intense films of all time.
Yeah.
So, what's the story behind this? Because
I'll have to show it to you because I do have it on DVD.
But why wasn't it finished?
He is such a perfectionist that it kind of seems like this was like his baby, and like 100% his baby. But it kind of seems like he was such a perfectionist that like there were like just some development issues where just things didn't quite get done or something.
Yeah, and Miramax put out like a different cut of the film where some of the animation is not up to snuff compared to the other stuff in the film.
They also gave the thief a voice. He was supposed to be a silent character. The movie's a fucking mess. Oh, there it is again.
You just don't want us to get money off this, do you?
Never. No, but like legitimately, the guy is a perfectionist, you all said, and he like, I don't know, it's one of those rare cases where I kind of agree with the studio where I'm like, yeah, you kind of screwed us here, dude. Like, this is too much. And I think there's some drama between it and Aladdin. Like, Aladdin came out like before it did. And it was like, shit.
Yeah. Well, again, rest in peace, Richard Williams. And I know that his work will be appreciated and enjoyed for many years. Yep. So
if y'all haven't watched any of his movies, look them up, watch them.
Like you said, your favorite is
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Not just
like
of his,
the best movie ever made of all time.
Now, did he animate like? How did the animation work for that movie? As far as like, because they had like Disney characters in them, and Looney Tunes characters, and
talking to lawyers.
But did different animators handle
all
different
the lawyers
characters, or
I think it's typical of like there being a head person for animation for a certain character or characters.
Yeah.
And
was that for consistency's sake?
I think so. I don't like. I've only taken a few animation classes. I don't know how the industry actually works. I'm just piecing together what I've kind of learned here and there. But like, there's like the key animator who does all of like the like establishing poses, and then it goes to key animators who do like those in between sort of the movements and stuff like that. But there usually is one person who is like the head animator,
animation director.
Yeah. And he was like the main guy for pretty much like all of the animation, but I think he focused more on Roger because he's the titular character. He's the most important bit of the movie.
Yeah. Well, what a project that must have been.
Yeah.
Want to point out Riddle of Lightning has more art, and this time it involves
Good Lord.
Saber and Paleo.
We're gonna retweet all of this, and nobody that isn't listening to this podcast is gonna be so confused. Consume all media.
Well,
My
then
appreciation.
that'll tell people that they should tune in.
Thank you so much for all of this art.
Are you
We
going to
love it.
show it to the people
Oh
watching?
yes, we are. 1 second. I have to like make the screen big because the
And
program got
Such
all
a
weird.
process.
Look at this. Look at this. Consume
These are
all
good
media,
boys.
says Paleo.
Minecraft.
And then Saber's Minecrafting.
As always.
Oh my. Well, is it time for our next topic?
Sure.
Yes, let me small the screen so we can. Want to get into MLP episodes?
Shall we?
Ponies, that's dumb.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go
I
backwards.
say
on
while
this
wearing
one.
a pony shirt.
Let's start with the most recent episode. So the way we're gonna do this for
Okay.
anyone that is new, haven't seen the new episodes, or trying to avoid spoilers for episodes that have aired. We're only talking about episodes that are airing on TV. When we talk about the two most recent episodes, it will
No
be
leaked
246 Great and A Trivial Pursuit. We will put up a spoiler screen for anyone that wants to avoid the spoilers. When the spoiler screen comes down, that is your sign that it is safe to basically
Love that.
unmute the podcast, and there will be no spoilers for you to hit.
All right, here we go. It is spoiler screen is up.
All right.
Oh fuck, we got another
Oh
thing.
wait.
We got
Show
another.
that.
Oh,
Riddle lighting.
wait,
Sit.
we got
sit,
another piece of
sit,
art.
sit.
1
Right.
second.
Sorry.
Oh,
Hey. Whoa.
look, it's me.
It says Who Framed Roger Rabbit the best.
The
Yes.
best what?
Yes.
Love it. Thank you.
Love it.
Thank you, Riddle of Lightning. I'm having so much fun having Riddle hanging out with us here tonight. All right, so like we said, we're gonna start kind of backwards. The first episode we're gonna talk about here is A Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in this episode, Twilight's hopes of keeping her trivia trot winning streak alive are waylaid when she is paired up with Pinkie Pie, who has never been to a trivia night before. I will just say right now, I loved the entire concept of this episode, and
It was
I feel like it was
amazing.
really well done.
Oh, so good.
Possibly the best faces ever in an episode.
Yeah,
of Pony
yeah.
ever.
They really went all out with like the new expressions and
I just can't wait to see how they use them for the next season. Like, no, it was a fun episode, and I enjoy again because this is much more of a slice of life type episode, like a weekly thing or whatever. That Twilight's like, I have to win.
Yeah.
Just so ridiculous, but I agree on the facial expressions were fun. I laughed at the presentation of the moral a little bit because it was so on the nose. Like, oh my gosh,
Isn't how most episodes are?
this one I felt more so like it was literally a repeat of what happened to Pinkie Pie. It was
Yeah.
like, now it's happening to Twilight Sparkle.
so then she can get the perspective of, oh, this is bad
Right.
stuff that I just did. to
And it's
Pinkie.
not me knocking it. I was just cracking up at
Mhm.
that because I know that I've taught people lessons that way. I'd be like, oh, really? Oh, you say? But yeah, this was fun.
It was a fun episode. I loved it. I loved the
Fun.
concept. I loved all the characters. It was good.
She was
Saber?
spotlighting pretty freaking hard.
She
Yeah.
was. I liked when Spike was just like, hey, I'm just playing by the rules here. You know?
Yeah.
That's when
Uh,
Spike's his best is when he's like what's the word for
The straight
voice of
man?
Reason.
Yeah, the voice of
Yeah.
Thank you.
When I was watching it with Hero, like he was saying like, "Oh, I'm actually like I would probably do pretty good on this trivia." It was like it's all pony lore.
That's true.
Hmm.
I actually I was real surprised when Scorpan was brought up.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was neat.
Wow.
Some little tidbit.
Yeah.
We'll never see him on the show.
Yeah, I know.
I've given up on that. A history episode, I've given up on everything.
It's coming in Gen 5. Just wait.
Okay, thanks.
It'll be the last season of Gen 5, and that one's going to go twice as long.
Oh.
So one thing I don't remember, funny enough, is who won? What group ended up winning?
Oh no,
I
it
think-
didn't.
It didn't say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
so I
It's-
didn't.
the,
I didn't
the
miss.
episode ended with them like,
Yeah.
failing a question and then they're
Oh,
laughing because
having
they're having
fun.
fun.
What the hell? Wait, that's like making a racing movie
I
and
mean,
then
we
not
could-
showing who wins the
We
race.
could probably look back and see.
But
like,
it doesn't
who had the
matter
most
who
points.
wins, Race. That's the
It's
point.
the fun.
That's the whole point.
Having fun with your friends.
When I win with my friends, I'm having fun. No, it was enjoyable.
I love how everybody groaned at the fact that Maud and Mudbriar have been teamed up like every
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Like, ah,
It's rigged.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we get into the fact that this was by far the most heavily implied episode ever? That like the show staff were like shipping.
oh
We've
yeah,
totally heard it. I mean,
like Apple Dash, Twinkie Pie,
Pie Pie.
Pie Pie, yeah. Oh, yeah, friggin' Pinky's face when she says Twi Pie.
Yeah.
Not
Her
to mention,
smiles like so big.
there's a picture I'm looking at that has Lyra and Bonbon sitting next to each other. Here,
Mhm.
the crowd shot. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, everyone was banging. I love how aggressive Rainbow Dash and Applejack are to each other.
Yeah.
I also love that Twilight, when you had Fluttershy and Bulk Biceps teamed up, she's just like, well,
Not every team is a threat.
they were winning at one point.
Yeah.
Didn't he like bro hoof Fluttershy into the ground?
Yeah.
He high fived her so hard that she fell over.
That's so great.
Or hoof bumped. Sorry.
Hoof
There's no such thing as high five.
hoofed her hard. Oh gosh. Cool. So anyone else have any last thoughts on the episode?
It's my favorite of the season so far. It's really funny.
It was good. I'd say it's my second favorite.
What's your
probably.
first favorite?
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh,
God.
Transition time. All right. So the next episode we're going to talk about is 2 for 6th grade.
Man, where Rainbow Dash
Is
is a
ass.
bitch.
Yep.
In this episode, the School of Friendship starts a buckball team, and Rainbow Dash has to come to terms with the fact that she won't be coaching the team.
She has not come to terms with that.
No.
I'm just gonna let everyone else go. I'm gonna let you all say what you need to say.
What I'm amazed by is with all the fangirling she did for the Wonderbolts and all the cheering, that she is completely devoid of knowledge about what cheerleaders are and do.
Yeah.
She was one.
Well, the reason behind that is because she thinks she's too good for it. And she's terrible.
Yeah. She's an asshole.
One can make the argument that Twilight might have made a mistake putting Rainbow Dash in charge. But
No,
I'll
it
tell
was
you right.
intentional.
I'll tell you right now, though. Rainbow Dash, after 8 seasons of this, like it just doesn't surprise me anymore that she still like finds ways of being like a bitch, and it's like, come on, Rainbow Dash, like you. By this point, I'd imagine it'd be like, okay, this is a challenge. I'm competitive. Let's do it. And instead, she just goes back to like season 1 Rainbow Dash, and it's like, really, we're doing this again?
Yeah, it's funny because like in that episode in season 7, Famous Misfortune, where they're complaining like, oh, Rainbow or Fluttershy, like she never like changes. She learns the same lesson over and over again.
No, she
But
changes,
then-
and you can
But
tell.
yeah, like in these past few seasons, she's like actually like stepped up and become more assertive and like speaks up
Yeah,
when
it's
she needs to.
awesome.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash, she's done the same fucking thing, being arrogant and just like stupid.
I think it would have been better if she actually went on the other side of the spectrum where she went too hard on them.
Yeah,
Where
Yes,
that would've
that would have been a
hey,
better
we-
episode.
We gotta win. Come on, we have to be the best at what we do. And it's like, Rainbow Dash, loosen up. I would have preferred that. That would have been a different approach that would have been somewhat at least refreshing. Versus,
So-
Rainbow Dash is Tom girl who's just too good for cheerleading. and proves once more that she really is the worst character on the show.
So in that case, I ask, who actually sucked more, Rainbow Dash or the person who wrote the episode?
Ooh.
Rainbow Dash.
Ooh.
That's right.
Are you sure you want to open that can of worms?
It's Rainbow Dash. The answer's still Rainbow Dash.
No, I say that, and I kind of wish I knew who wrote it because I'd feel a lot better. Actually,
I'm
no,
looking
I'm
it up
saying
right
like I don't know who they are, so I actually feel mildly
not
bad
Larson.
saying that.
This might have been like their first episode.
Well, let's cut our losses there. So
who's worse, the person who's executed or the executioner? I don't know.
no, so here's the thing. And by all means, I know everyone's probably going to disagree with me, but before going into this episode,
I disagree with you.
I in that case, I have nothing else to say. I already saw people just basically being like, "Oh my gosh, Saberspark was right. Rainbow Dash is worst pony." And I basically was like, "Fuck."
Yep, I was so happy. I was like, "Damn, I did it. I predicted the future."
I'm like, what happened here now? So I went in basically expecting, God damn it, it was a shit episode for Rainbow Dash. Was it a shit episode for Rainbow Dash?
AKA a Rainbow Dash episode.
Oh, it was a shit episode for Rainbow Dash. However, anybody that wants to dare argue with me that Twilight Sparkle was not the problem in this episode can fuck off, because Twilight Sparkle used. First off, can we talk about the fact that Twilight's still setting her friends up for fucking friendship morals when Twilight
It's like she's the princess of friendship.
Wow, she really
Right?
proved it in the most recent episode.
At the student's expense, because I know she's gonna be a bitch about this, and then she's gonna maybe come around.
Look here. All right. Here's
It's
where
a
I have
growth
a
opportunity for everybody.
Here's where I have a problem with what Twilight did in this episode. Is
Plus,
that
Rainbow Dash could teach
is that
well enough
she-
that she actually
she-
bothered to do it.
the problem I have with what Twilight did to Rainbow Dash in this episode is that she took advantage, knowing where and why Rainbow Dash would be excited about this. If somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Race, we want you to work on the track at the track on Saturday."
Oh,
Now-
I know this stupid thing you did. It's a
Yeah.
false equivalency. what
It's
you
not
did.
okay. I'll let you explain to me why it's a false equivalency after I'm done.
Okay.
So if somebody says, "Hey, Race, we want you to work at the track on Saturday," I go, "Okay." Obviously, I work at tracks as announcers. I do all the stuff on the mic. I figure, okay, cool, I'll see you there. And then they say, "All right, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking parking tickets, and then when that's done, you're going to be working the concession stand behind the grandstands." Do you think for a minute that I would be like, "Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am happy to help"?
In
No,
that sarcastic
I
tone
would
of
not.
voice, actually, yes, you would.
I
So
would.
would you have calmly gone to the person and like protest, or would you?
Did Rainbow Dash not protest?
I can't recall that actually.
She did protest.
She told Twilight, she's like, "I don't even know about cheerleading. I'm not. This isn't where my
She was
passion
up
is."
front immediately saying,
So part two then. So whenever you're given a bum job in life, I guess
No,
the thing to do is
That's not
complain
even a
and shit.
fair. I don't think that's even a fair assessment, because part of the purpose of this is that Rainbow Dash only thinks this is a shit job. This isn't necessarily oh, this job is dumb and this job isn't worthwhile. It's no, this is something that needs to be done, and this is something that's a lot of
Concessions?
people really care about, and it's something that's
concessions aren't
athletic.
people.
concessions need to be done. Parking tickets
That's
need
not
to be
the point,
done.
though.
Yeah, but they're
The
not.
point is that Rainbow Dash that's not what Rainbow.
That's not taking
Dash's
care of a
thing.
team. Rainbow Dash had
No,
to take care of a
exactly.
team of people.
So that's the point.
Okay,
Is
so
that
what if they
Twilight
wanted
knows
me
that
to
Rainbow
coach-
Dash can be a coach.
So
She
they wanted
doesn't
me to
need a
coach the
coach
concession
for-
team. How about that?
That's
They're
still
like,
not
"You're
the
in
same.
charge
Get
of the
out of the
concession team."
concession team. Why are you concession team?
My point is,
That's still not the same.
if you are-
It's still being
How
directly
is it
involved.
different? Explain to
because
me where it's different.
I just did.
Do it again. Let me hear this, because this is
Okay,
I'm
so
not
you're
following
you're
you.
saying that the only valid task for someone is something they have already done and that they deem worthy of their own skills, which is not fair.
If you're going to spend your time doing it, you want to deem it worthy of your time.
First off, I did not say
but you're
that.
asking. Okay, you didn't say exactly those things. You're saying that what you're saying is that Rainbow Dash is being put in a job that's equivalent to something that's essentially what she considers to be beneath her, which
did I say that working concessions was beneath me, or that it's not what I would typically work at because it's what I'm good at the track? Now, could I be good at taking concession tickets? Probably. I could probably be fine. But the fact is that Twilight used Rainbow Dash's excitement against her to get her to show up in the first place.
I want to say something though. Well, something that Rainbow Dash did that really bothered me though is her arrogant attitude made it seem like it was beneath her. That was very apparent. Where it's like, this is beneath me.
It's very obvious. That's her opinion on it.
That this wasn't her saying this isn't what I am for. A bit of that, but okay, I can see that, a little bit of that, but just the levels
but then once she actually
let me finish.
Go
the
ahead.
levels of saying like, okay, this is girly, it's stupid, it's not athletic, I don't belong here, it's beneath me, and it's like, no, Rainbow Dash, and you didn't even give it a shot. Like you didn't even
she didn't even try.
You didn't even try. For someone who's so like loyal, you really do just kind of jump ship pretty easily. So
and Twilight chose her because she's a coach, and they needed
teacher,
a coach.
Someone went to the school. This is your job. I'm sorry. It's just that I get your defense. Like Twilight, yes, this was her grand design to make Rainbow Dash learn a lesson, but god damn it, Rainbow Dash just proving once again, like it's like, God, can't you just kind of like not be selfish for once in your life?
Also, like it's a school function, and Rainbow Dash is an employee of the school, and Twilight is her boss. So it's like, that's like saying if my boss tells me to do a task that's related to my job, but with the Rainbow Dash mentality of like, this isn't what I do, this isn't cool enough for me, so no, I'm not going to do that, even though this is my job to do what you asked me to do in the situation.
There's still embellishing going on here, but the fact of the matter is, here's where Rainbow Dash fucked up. She should have asked, first and foremost, the moment that Twilight brought anything up, she should have said, cool, what do you want me to do? She didn't do that. If I was actually asked by somebody to go work at a racetrack, and this is what I was getting to, the first thing I'd ask is, what do you need me to do? I wouldn't show up with a microphone in my hand and then be like, well, what the hell? So yes, Rainbow Dash fucked up. My point is that Twilight does not get off scot-free in this episode because, again, Rainbow Dash made it very clear at the beginning that, okay, well, this isn't my thing. And I get where everyone's like, oh, but bam, this proves again Rainbow Dash is so terrible and whatnot. It's not like Rainbow Dash didn't want to be there. It's just that there comes a point where you go, this is a weird way to utilize me here.
I would argue that it was more that she didn't want to do, like she was more on the point of not wanting to be there rather than saying like, well, this isn't a good use of me. Because
the
thing is, Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie, and Snails were all better coaches for the Buckball team in general because they're just better at Buckball than Rainbow Dash is.
I agree that it was a misuse of Rainbow Dash's character. However, I think it's very clear that she didn't want to be there, as evidenced by the fact that she literally left and went to go watch the Buckball practice.
That's careless. And I get it, like flawed characters make for good stories, and Rainbow Dash, you know, it's flawed. I think my frustration comes from this repetition of like, I'm tired. I'm tired of.
She has learned this lesson before. Why do we have to reset to learn it again?
I just get frustrated that like, okay, I'm watching DC Superhero Girls, and there's a Supergirl character who reminds me a lot of Rainbow Dash, and I love her. The way they utilize this character, it works. Now, it's also early on versus Rainbow Dash has been around for 8 seasons. So there is that, franchise fatigue of it all. But I would have tweaked it. I would have been like, let's not go do this again. Let's do it a different way. The same way, like, I don't know, like I like it when you flip a character like that and you introduce a different set of problems versus something we've seen time and time and time and time and time again.
I thought it was a terrible episode. I thought it was one of the shittiest episodes I've ever seen.
Amusingly,
of anything ever.
in
The show
chat
sucks.
says that
Finally.
Why should we even
Actually-
finish it?
actually no, yeah.
Who cares if Grogar gets horny? You know?
No, I mean, and again, I needed to defend Rainbow Dash because
We love you, Race. We love you.
so I had to try. I had to try as hard as I could.
And in
It's all-
fairness, Rainbow Dash did teach Fluttershy to cheer way early on.
Oh my god,
That's true.
Yeah,
Where was
she did.
that?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Rainbow Dash?
Like, yeah, I don't think anybody can really say that she wasn't a piece of shit in this episode. Like, her attitude was poor.
Rainbow?
Yeah, like her attitude was
No,
very
she
poor.
was.
She was very.
She was very
dismissive.
shitty toward it. I just had to.
Yeah.
I just had to find
It's-
some way to defend
Some
my girl.
sort of
Grace, we-
scapegoat.
Love you, and we know that you love Rainbow Dash. I think when Rainbow Dash is used properly, she has her moments. Like when she,
Yeah, absolutely.
So like when she like really got the birds in the pirate movie and the pony movie to like re-energize them with being who they are. Then she instantly fucked up by doing the rainbow.
With the fucking rainbow.
It's like, oh, that's classic Rainbow Dash. You're almost good and you fuck it up. But yeah, what can you do? It's Rainbow Dash.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I don't know why I decided to end our episode talk on this episode when the other one was so positive. We're like,
Yeah.
it was the best episode of the season, and everyone was so happy.
And there's
this was so entertaining.
I know.
This
Like I
Ponies
said,
is-
I had to try.
Pony's a serious business.
I
Like
had to
Judy
try.
Hop says, try.
And with
Try.
that, we'll pull down the spoiler screen. Man, anyone who missed
Is that what she says though? She's like, I implore you to try, right?
Try to make the world a better place.
What?
Oh.
Oh,
All right.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
I did it again.
So what's on tap here next?
Oh, I guess Viva hasn't seen the new episodes.
Whoops.
Womp, womp, womp.
Oh.
So she just said, unmute
well,
time.
that kind of makes sense because I know that again we were both at a convention during the last one, and I wouldn't be surprised if Viva was still traveling during
Yeah.
the first one. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
So you want to discuss movies first?
I mean, do we
Do we have any movies?
We
to
don't
discuss?
need to.
like I've listed Dora and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and like I would have wanted to talk about like the Invader Zim and Rocco's Modern Life, but I have to wait for this guy
Oh, I
to
haven't
watch
seen it.
them with me because he's late to everything.
I'm late to my period,
Hmm.
and therefore I'm pregnant.
Nice.
I don't know why I said that.
You are saying
Congratulations.
stuff
I appreciate that you went
When's
with
the
it,
big
though.
day?
Tomorrow.
Do you know what it's going to be?
How about we just jump right into talking about Australia?
tonight.
Man. All right. So
Where's Gabe?
folks, where is Gabe? Gabe actually, funny enough, messaged me 53 minutes ago saying I'll be on soon.
Oh,
Close. Very close. All right. Well, I'll make this as quick as possible. But yeah, so in regards to Alicon, I went to Australia this week. I was there for 4 days, landed Thursday morning, left Monday morning. And it was insane. I remember back when Alicon first contacted me about coming out, and I was like, "What? Are you serious?"
when?
Didn't realize that it would actually become a reality, and it did, and it was amazing. The flight out there, I kind of planned it out, like I said, with the jet lag, and was able to minimize the jet lag. But what's weird is the jet lag for me didn't really hit me as far as like being tired. It more hit me on when I would wake up at night. Like I would wake up naturally at like 4 a.m. and I'd be like, "Oh, this isn't what it's supposed to be." But yeah, so Thursday, I kind of went around, saw Adelaide with Typhoon Speed, or Tyson, the chair of the convention, as well as Bumper. Both of them staffing the convention. Both did a great job throughout the entire weekend, and it was real nice having them kind of show me around and get to see Adelaide and get to try some like fast food, Australian fast food, Opertos. I can't remember how you say it. But yeah, they like chicken over there. They liked fried chicken. So yeah, Saber,
I like
enjoy.
these Australians. I think I'd be walking around being like, crikey, it's a dungaree or whatever. I don't know. Dungaree's
by the way, I need to pause my story because Road of Lightning is continuing to just make this like the greatest ever. So this was in are these gonna be spoilers?
No.
Okay, I don't think so either. There's Twilight Reen, and Pinkie Pie is just happy. and then here's Rainbow Dash saying, "I didn't learn anything."
I didn't learn anything.
And then here's the one I like. I am Princess Celestia, now do concessions.
Yes.
Why you do this to me?
Look at her tongue.
I love the neck.
Adorable.
I just love it all. But yeah, so that was Thursday. Then also did some of the bar trot. Now the Thursday vlog's already up. Friday is the vlog I'm working on right now, and
You went on a bar trot?
I did the bar trot. I didn't drink, but I did the bar trot. And lasted halfway through that before I was like, okay, now I am crashing. And yeah, so Friday, so Odyssey Eurobeat was also out there, or Travis. And Travis and I went out to a wildlife reservation called the Cleveland Wildlife Reservation, and it was so cool because it's basically like when we got our tickets to get in. First off, it was lightly raining, so there weren't a lot of people there. It was on and off sprinkling, but as we're about to walk in, the cashier's like, "Oh yeah, have fun. The animals are real friendly. You could probably touch them." And in my head, I'm like, "Is this like an Australian joke? Like obviously, everyone knows you don't touch the kangaroos." And I'm like, "But he did say touch the kangaroos."
It's like Buckingham Palace guards. They'll never move. You can poke them.
Yeah. So we got in there, and it was so awesome. Like it's just like this big old like block of land, and there were like 50 kangaroos, and they come hopping up to you for food, and I'm sitting there petting them, and they're all like wet because of the rain, and I swear they smell like wet dogs. Like kangaroos are dogs, just like they must have mated with rabbits or something, which who could blame them? Right? So
Is that what Nick and Judy's babies are gonna look like?
yeah. Oh my gosh. So but it was so cool. Like I just hoped to see kangaroos or see like some of the Australian wild. I had a zoo in the city, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to do a zoo. I don't want to see like a lion and be like, whoa, okay. Like I'm like, I want to see like Australian animals, yeah. And it was such a much more immersive experience than I ever thought it was going to be. So that was cool. I even pet bandicoots, which I found out are real.
Are actual animals? Yeah.
Not just a Crash Bandicoot.
They're not just a PS1 mascot.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It's so it was just. But again, this is all going to be on the Friday vlog. Also on Friday, we kind of took a tour, looking around things. Viva and I went off to the beach just to check it out. Like the sun had already gone down, but I wanted to see the ocean from a coast that was like, what the hell? I'm on Australia.
Oh, did you see the? Did you look at the sky at all, like the stars?
I did. There was a lot of light pollution where I was, so it was kind of hard to really appreciate it, because that was something that Gabe kind of mentioned. Like, hey, make sure you look up. look at the constellations. I did look up, but I couldn't exactly like tell where I was because even on the beach there was still a lot of light. But yeah, of course, Gabe asked me after I get back, like, "Hey, did you see the penguins on the beach?" And I'm like, "You didn't tell me there were penguins on the beach. I would have looked for them." Because I guess Adelaide's like the most southern city of Australia, and it's close enough to Antarctica. And here we go. This should just be the thing that we look at while I tell the story. Riddle of lightning. And yeah, so Friday was where I got to really kind of like,
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I got to do all the things as far as, again, with the animals and all that to get to experience that. Also, there was a VIP lunch that happened on Friday. Nicole Oliver was there. She was like the show guest. As mentioned, Travis and I were there. Travis on the musician side, myself on, like, I guess you could say the community guest side. And then the convention itself was Saturday and Sunday, and it was a blast. They were expecting between 150 to 200 people, and they broke 300 attendees. So and some of us hearing these numbers go like, wow, that's small. but this is, it's a growing convention. Viva was explaining to me that Australia has been burnt a couple times by past conventions that existed. So this has been kind of, putting the bandage on that and regaining the faith of the Brony fandom out in Australia. So it was real cool to see the numbers grow for them. We did do a Who's Line show. And by we, I mean just me as far as a regular group, but Viva joined in on it, and we put her in a whole bunch of games, and Nicole Oliver was also part of a bunch of games in that. So we also utilized audience members. So big thanks to, I know Sarah, you were putting it together. Saber, I know you did too. So thank you both. Did anyone else help with that?
Paleo and Hero a little bit, yeah.
Thank you to Paleo and Hero as well.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, as stated, it was just a real good time the whole way through. The guests were so nice. Everybody I met was so welcoming, and it baffles me when someone's excited to see me, and I'm like, but I'm in Australia. How do you even know who I am? The internet's an amazing thing, guys. And yeah, so that was really kind of, a very short end version of it. I have a whole lot of vlog footage that's coming out from the convention. We also did a How to YouTube panel that's live right now. We did a Bronies Rec panel, and I did try Vegemite in that. And they recommend when you eat Vegemite. Has anyone here had Vegemite?
Nope.
I've had a small bite when I was a kid. It's just nasty.
So with Vegemite, Viva was explaining to me that you put a very thin layer on it. Like, you put butter on bread, and then you put a very thin layer of Vegemite on. And you can imagine that I may have...
You don't do anything halfway, though.
No. Viva, you did it wrong. What you do, take a loaf of bread, some butter, some Vegemite. Take a knife, take the bread out, you put the butter on the bread, take the Vegemite, and then you throw it in the garbage.
And you're not wrong. But yeah, I put a little bit too much.
Do you think if Viva had told you to put gobs of it on, that you would have done the opposite and saved yourself?
See, I don't think Viva would do that to me.
You would have just been trusting.
I would have been like, oh, that's actually what you're supposed to do.
Viva,
I just tried
to the States again. We're gonna take you like to fancy restaurants that we Americans have, like McDonald's, and really show you how it's done.
They have McDonald's, but it's Macca's. They call it Macca's.
Welcome to Macca's.
You go on a Macca's run.
I like it.
Can anyone spell Macca's for me?
Maccas.
All right, you tried. Saber, spell Macca's.
Oh, let me Google it first.
No,
Mackers. I mean, that's how I would spell it if I were to say it.
All right. So who thinks Sarah's right and who thinks Paleo's right?
I was
leaning
gonna say the
towards
same
Sarah.
thing that Sarah said.
You say with the AS. Saber, what would you say?
I just looked it up.
So you would say with a AS?
I mean,
Am I correct?
AS. So when they told me it was a Mac, granted they're all speaking Australian, so I'm like, oh, they're struggling with their R's again. Those
I'll
poor
come
people.
clean. I already saw someone like mention Macca's.
Oh, I did tweet
in the
about it
chat.
too. But yeah. So I of
I
course
mean, like
I'm
the English and Australian, they usually have like a soft R at the end of
Very-
their A sounds.
yeah, a very
Yeah.
soft R. So
Yeah.
I correct them and say, oh, a Macker gun, and they look at me and go,
No.
why do Americans always to things? And I'm like, well, because we like to go home to our woman's and be. I'm like, it is a Southern thing to add R's like everywhere. Like I think that's just like what happened was when we got away from England, we're like, they don't like R's.
Well, isn't
so
it
we're
that
gonna-
like the American accent, like the default American accent, is more true to the original English accent than the new English accent?
apparently
Good.
the way it went is that, and I'm sure some historian can correct me, but yes, our American accent that we have is what most British folks sounded like. Then some class of them were like, well, we don't want to sound like the fucking average people.
The colonies.
Talking fab shit like this, should have drunk tea. And things like that. So they made up their own little British voice, and then we kicked them out of our country.
Good.
Freedom.
That's
And then-
exactly what happened.
and the French didn't even need their help. Screw those guys. They weren't there. But yeah, that's something like that. I don't know. I looked it up one time. That's a story that I found. So there you go.
Yeah, no, this was a cool opportunity because we've been to conventions like with Nicole Oliver, but this was a nice opportunity to actually like get to know Nicole, and she is just super nice. And again, same with like my opportunity to really get to know Travis. This was the most, even though Travis and I have probably been to 25 conventions together. This was like our first time actually being like, hey, let's hang out.
That's cool.
And of course, getting to know Viva a lot better was just so awesome.
Wait, can we look at Riddle of Lightning's other
Oh my gosh, is there
new
more?
art? But it's Viva
Oh, let's see
at the
this.
beach.
Just a penguin.
Oh, the penguin.
Beach time. Yes, Viva was my beach escort. She kept me safe. She told me not to go into the water, so I didn't. Because it was cold. That's the thing, is it's wintertime in Australia, and it was so nice, like getting away from this freaking heat.
From the heat.
Oh, I was so just okay with being there. I was like, yes. I even wore my jacket when I got back, and I was like, oh, it looks like there's an art of me eating something. Oh, those are sugar. Riddle of Lightning's like drawn everything.
That one was like 50 minutes ago. We missed it.
Riddle of Lightning's on it. Love this.
They drew me as a space marine in one episode. It was cool.
Oh my god, these are so great.
So,
We appreciate the hell out of you.
we really do. We really do. Look at
Yeah,
that.
he draws stuff during the POS podcast too.
It's just wonderful. I love those. But yeah, I mean that really kind of, like I said, like that's. Oh yeah, only a small Vegemite. This
Oh
is
my
about
God.
how it went. This is a good depiction of what I did. That stuff has such a
great.
bad aftertaste.
I must all.
That's race for you. He must all.
Oh man.
This is
It's
amazing.
Oh god. Yeah, but again, Australia was fun. I was treated so well out there, and had a wonderful time. I don't know if it'll ever be in the cards for me to be back, but I would go back in a heartbeat. That was such an amazing time. And yeah, I got to just, like I said, get to really know a lot of people. I had sat down with a few families, just chatting it up, and it's cute because like the girls that were with the family were just like, this is so weird that like we've always watched your videos, but here you are just sitting talking with us.
Oh, that's cool.
It is cool. I love it. Like that's some of my favorite stuff. And you know, at smaller conventions, we're able to do that. You know, we're able to kind of have a little bit more FaceTime with people. So it was just a magical weekend, and I can't wait to share all of it with everybody. And I'll be after this show ends, I'll be hard on the editing here and for the next few days. So yeah. So any questions about Australia before we wrap this up?
What's the biggest spider that you saw?
Fun fact, I didn't see a single spider the entire
That
time.
you know of. Dun, dun,
Were
dun.
you really in Australia?
Well, there actually, I will say I saw one spider that was in. No, I saw multiple spiders actually that were in at the wildlife reservation.
Oh, okay.
But they were like in cases, so I almost don't count it. They
fair.
were alive, but the biggest one still, like the biggest one I saw was probably, like, I don't know, maybe the size of
Golf ball size? Or...
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say golf ball size, and it like not like the whole body was the size of a golf ball, just like leg
With the
span and all
legs.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
like all together. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing like I was expecting to encounter.
Did you go out to the desert at all?
No, didn't have time to really like. The farthest we got from the city was the wildlife reservation. The way the day was broken up with the VIP lunch. So the thing with the Outback is that like I forget the percentage they said, but I think it was like 90%, maybe 98% of the population of Australia lives on the coast.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a very small percentage of people that actually live within the country.
Race.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to Outback Steakhouse and you're sitting there drinking your bloomin' onion,
Drinking your bloomin' onion?
Drinking a blue.
As I do.
are you gonna like look left and right and kind of like be that scene from Return of the King where the hobbits are looking around the bar and they're like, we did it, we're back. Like I've been here before, I know this place.
You know what's funny is I'm just imagining that while the hobbits pictures the previous movies up on the wall for some reason. Like, hey, look, there's Gandalf on the wall.
Gandalf's a cat.
But yeah, no, it's I'm glad I didn't see any spiders. And I didn't make enough Outback Steakhouse jokes. Honestly, that's probably my biggest regret of the weekend.
Here's my question. I'm a massive fan of different cultures, just massive.
Mhm.
Unless they suck, then whatever.
You mean like Rainbow Dash fans?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That culture's the worst.
And Georgia.
Yeah, right. Okay, so talking about the people, the culture, the just the general disposition of the folks you were around. What were they like?
So one thing that stuck out to me was that vlogging is not as big of a thing in Australia as it is like in the US.
Mhm.
In the sense that when I was doing it, all of a sudden I realized like a huge chunk of people were just staring at me like, what the fuck? Here's something for you. Here's a cultural thing. The word cunt is a very
Your channel's been deleted.
It's a very common word in Australia. Like it's
That's so
a
funny you
word
said
that's just used by everyone and literally their mother. Like it's like a way of saying
I
dude in
was told
California.
that in Australia, being called the C word is a term of endearment, but being called a dumb C word is like their way of saying you're an idiot. Like
It's amazing how subtle that difference is.
I was gonna not say it, and then I was
What do
like,
you expect? We take a bunch of prisoners and ship them off to a.
so that's another
Saberspark,
thing.
banned from Australia.
Here's the other
What
thing.
did I do?
So was Saber the form that I had to fill out when you go into their country. They ask you all these questions, but then they have this subsection where they only are asking people who aren't Australian citizens. And one of it was, have you been convicted of a crime?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care if you're an Australian citizen because the answer is obviously yes.
I hope it says that on the form in explanation.
So it's like if we made Florida its own country. If we cut off Florida and put it in the Pacific.
That's probably for the best, to be honest.
It was even Viva's tisking me.
Yeah.
Viva, you're Australian. Unless I was led astray. I mean, that's a thing to do. We use this word all the time. Go ahead and call everybody this word.
I saw your confusion in your vlog when they were talking about Vegemite. They're like, you're like, so is it good or not?
And they were not sure how to answer that either. So, but more on the culture stuff. It really it's weird because it
also I was gonna say, Nora, I know you're in the Atlantic. I'm saying we're going to take you over to the Pacific.
Yeah,
and honestly, that's why I really
because
think
Australia's in the Pacific,
Claire,
or between Pacific and Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Hello.
Hey,
so
Hi.
Hero.
What's up, Hero?
I'm here very late.
Hero, you weren't here to
Are you
defend.
Gabe?
You weren't here to defend Rainbow Dash with me. Maybe it was for the best. But culturally, it's a weird combination because you could have convinced me throughout the weekend that I was just in a small city. It kind of reminded me of a busier Milwaukee. Things were a little bit more compact. So it had a very European feel to it. Like the people, the way they dressed had a very European feel to it. But there was also like, you could have convinced me that I was somewhere in America. And yeah, it was just kind of like, I never felt out of place there. I felt very comfortable walking around the city by myself. So yeah, again, it was just a very kind of welcoming, like everybody I met, whether it was while I was traveling, some plane, like everyone just seemed super nice. And either I just met the right Australians at every point of my trip, or maybe Australia has nice people. So
Got another piece of art from
Allison.
Beach Boys fan. Thank you.
I love it.
Loving it.
It's me. So excited about Vegemite.
Vegemite.
You'll see it on the Bronies React panel. I loved every taste.
I'm looking forward to this.
But it is cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else specifically. I did blow up a fuse in my hotel room.
I saw that in the vlog.
Yeah, that was a mistake. At the time, by the way, in the vlog, I didn't really blew a fuse on the room. So I started plugging everything in and going, man, nothing works. I just don't have any of the right stuff. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. Even the stuff that came with the room isn't working. And yeah, they just had to flip a switch and I was back working again. So
We also got a super chat from Sadistic Spirit. Had a blast to see you all at BronyCon. Thank you.
oh, thank you, Sadistic
you.
Spirit. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Glad that we could see you too. Did we have another one from earlier? Yes.
Yes, Stone said left.
Stone said
Are we-
left.
Are we doing Q&A right now?
We're gonna
gonna
get into it. Yeah.
I'm gonna
So-
use the bathroom before we start. I'm also
All
gonna
right.
get some more.
So we'll ease into it then. For anyone that wants to submit a question for Q&A, I
What was that?
think that was Paleo.
that
I
was
hope
a
it
noise.
wasn't Lemmy.
So Hero, how are you doing while we have people submit questions?
I've been trying to clear this raid in Final Fantasy for 3 weeks now, and finally I had.
Is that hard?
Yes, it's incredibly difficult. Finally I had a group of people because I have 4 other friends that I play with this with. So that's 5 people who aren't like bumbling idiots. MMO players are mean to each other, by the way. So it was 5 people that's not bumbling idiots. We needed 3 more people that wouldn't bumble But here they were every single time we partied, and I just come into the chat, always frustrated, and then we watch ponies. I'm like, okay, I'm better. But tonight, we had 3 people who weren't idiots, and we cleared it. And I'm just like, thank you. Why is it so hard to find 3 not stupid people? Oh, I'm doing well,
Sounds like
thank you.
You're having fun. We've been admiring, by the way, throughout this whole podcast. Rule of Lightning has just been spoiling us with art.
Bloomin' onion spiders.
Oh, they're so good.
I like this one. Remove Florida. Help me defend Rainbow Dash. I think that's Saber making fun of me.
Look at his little feet.
Remove Florida.
That's an accurate depiction of Saberspark's physique.
Oh,
Ooh.
Those little teeny feet are getting me.
he's not even here
Only,
to
only he
defend
was
himself.
here. I know. No.
Don't worry, we'll bring it back up when he gets here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we just need to saw off Florida like Bugs Bunny did.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That's right. So where are people submitting questions?
Hashtag SPP questions. I put that in the chat just a little bit ago. A little alert went out, but let me just repost it
Yeah.
just in case people did not see it.
I'm gonna post a piece of art in the SPP Discord just because I saw this piece of art and I was like, oh my god, I love it. So
Is this gonna get my channel taken down, Hero?
Yes.
What? No.
Oh, well, then it's probably not worth looking at.
Look how. Oh, it actually gave a image this time. Cool. How
Oh,
That's nice.
nice that is. I love
very
the way
nice.
Chrysalis is drawn for some particular reason.
I'll copy and paste that in the chat so people can see that.
so people can see art.
So nice.
So nice.
So
Yeah, if you got a question for the SPP crew, submit a question to us and get priority using super chats or submit to Twitter using the hashtag SPP question.
yeah, so we've had people submitting stuff in super chats.
I'm back.
We do hold priority to our super chatters. They will we'll make sure that we get to their questions. Last time, I think we only got through super chat questions. By the way,
Yeah.
hi
Let's move things
Cadet.
along.
Hey, Cadet.
Hi, Cadet.
Cadet's awesome.
Yeah.
And just send a super chat. I didn't even know that was gonna happen.
What is solo?
Okay, so Cadet asks our first Q&A. Cadet has a super chat here asking, please tell me you tried solo while in Australia. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not, I don't think. Which means probably not.
Do you even know what solo
I don't
is?
even know what solo is, but I did eat Tim Tams after my Vegemite experience, and I was really hungry, and I think I ate about 60 Tim Tams.
Cadet, what's solo? What is
What is solo? Is it a candy?
Sounds like a drink.
Yeah,
It
that's-
just sounds like one.
Oh, Viva says solo is a lemonade-ish
Oh,
equivalent.
I saw Solo.
Wait. So when you say lemonade, because Tumblr,
Yep.
I know Tumblr's not reliable all the time, but Tumblr
here we
told me
go.
that lemonade doesn't mean what it means in the US.
You're
In
right.
the world. Apparently lemonade is Sprite.
Yep.
What?
I said, oh, do you guys have lemonade? And they responded to me. They said, yeah, we have Sprite.
Right.
What?
So
And I'm
when
like,
you say
that's-
lemonade, is
Lemonade.
it fizzy, Viva?
I'm talking. Is it like lemon drink?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like a lemon lime soda.
So I did deal with that.
No.
All the drink that I dared do was just orange soda, which they don't call. It's weird, by the way. We call it orange
Orangey.
soda, right?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of you might know that most people, when I went to Germany, same thing, call it Fanta.
Mhm.
But then
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
I mean,
wait,
Fanta's a brand.
right? It is a brand, and Fanta, as we know, has multiple flavors.
Can I
Yeah.
say something fast, quickly?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that whenever a German's born, they are issued a pair of jean shorts. Like,
You are not the first person to say this.
I've seen so many German brands at conventions, and they're wearing these very well maintained jean shorts. I'm fucking jealous of them, and they look so stylish with their denim, and I'm like, hell yeah, German jean shorts.
Is this about Cosmo?
Paso.
Oh my
No, but no joke. The why I see Germans like at conventions, they're super sweet and kind, and they're wearing t-shirts.
Oh gosh.
Man, we've gotten like quite a few.
Yeah, we got the super
here.
chats coming in. Wait. I point on
Okay,
Solo.
alright.
So as I mentioned, everyone calls orange soda Fanta, except I took issue to this when I went somewhere that had Sunkissed, and I asked Viva, I'm like, so is this called Fanta? And Viva looks at me like I'm an idiot and goes, no, that's called Sunkissed. And I'm like, well, then why don't you just call it orange soda? Which they don't say soda, by the way.
What do they say?
They
Oh, no.
say, oh shoot,
Well, they don't
soft
say that in
drink.
the Midwest.
They say soft drink.
Soft drink. That
So
is-
I got a question. If you go to a McDonald's over there, I mean a Macca's, and you order a double quarter pounder with cheese, do they call it a double quarter pounder with cheese?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That is a question.
We're diving into some cult classics right now.
Thank you.
Since you're asking food, by the way, I'm gonna get to our next question from Emily May, asking, "Where was your favorite place to eat?" And thank you for sending in a super chat, Emily. My favorite place to eat in Australia. So I'll kind of run down the places I ate at. There was a restaurant called, and I'm probably gonna say this wrong, San Giorgio, and it was right next to the hotel. That's where the VIP lunch was. That's also where Viva and I got some pizza. It was kind of like hey, no matter what, this place can do me right. So
Can I
that
just
place,
take this moment to say that Viva is one of the funniest human beings I've ever met.
you
Oh
Oh
can,
my god, yes.
and you should.
And you did.
And
Viva
you
kicked
did.
up not whose line. Well, I guess I'll find out about that. Bernie's reacts to a degree where it's like, wow, it feels like it's a completely different series now. Like Viva, you're hilarious. Just know
Mhm.
that you've got talent.
Absolutely agree. And so outside of that place, like I said, I ate at Oporto's, I think. Oporto's is so I ate there. It was like a fast food, kind of like a chicken place. I did eat at KFC. I ate at Macca's, McDonald's, and I ate at somewhere called Hungry Jack's, which was like on almost every corner of the city. But it's Burger King. But they call it Hungry Jack's because there was already a Burger King in Adelaide. And so they couldn't, like, there was copyright issues. So they're like, well, we'll just call it Hungry Jack's. And then I guess at some point, if I'm correct, they ended up winning like the right to use the name, but everyone knew it as Hungry Jack's. So basically it's like a Carl's Jr. Hardee's situation. But yeah, and I ate at each of these places and I just felt so right. I'm like,
Good,
wow,
man.
look at me
I
eating
love
Burger King. I do too. Saber, you would have enjoyed this, man. I should have brought you some food back. I should have brought you. So I got a Big Mac,
Oh,
but it was a double Big Mac.
dude.
Yeah.
I swear, like, I talked to Jax about this, but if aliens ever showed up to Earth and we're freaking out about what we have to offer, all we gotta do is just open a menu and go, okay, what do y'all want to eat? And if they do eat, we're about to prove our worth as a species because we can make some good food.
What would you serve an alien?
Bean burrito, Taco Bell.
Nice, good. No one else say anything because that's as good as it's gonna get.
Got Britt Fields saying, Saber, how are you liking Minecraft? I just started too, and my fiance overran my world with cats, and it was distressing.
Britt's awesome. She's a sweetheart. I'm so glad that she and her husband or to be got engaged. She made us key lime pie at the
She
convention.
did.
Yeah.
She made like multiple key lime pies.
Yeah, she if you want to track Britt down, just follow the key lime pies. That was really good. I haven't found cats though. Here, you're about to say something.
Oh no, I just like it was actually to myself. I'm surprised the microphone picked that up, but I like legitimately just like, did you just say husbando like 100% unironically? Like you were so
Yes,
serious.
I'm a little bit drunk.
I could tell. Not because of that, actually.
Really?
Literally, the reason I could tell is because you're telling people that you love them, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the telltale
That's like the
sign.
big tell.
Oh, Viva's now gonna be like, oh.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes.
To be
it
honest,
absolutely
I
is.
didn't pick up on it as much as others are. Like I didn't realize you were quite there. You didn't tell any of us that, and we know
Laura,
that you
could you
don't.
tell?
Yes.
Oh, I love you.
I can tell partially just because of like the way that you're speaking, and also because you got excited about a Big Mac. And I'm like, I know that you like other burgers more than that, but like the way you reacted, I'm like, yeah, he's probably drinking.
Laura knows me well. By the way, when Laura met Patton Oswalt, she made an inside joke that was so just perfect. There's a YouTube channel we follow called.
Well, it's not really like an inside joke. It's so like I'm sure I know at least a couple people here are familiar with Red Letter Media, the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And he was recently on A Best of the Worst, which is like a series they do of watching just bad movies. And they made a whole goof about like, oh, we have this big celebrity guest, and they like joked that it was one of their regular dudes instead of Patton, and just like played it off that Pat was just kind of a regular guy there. So I asked him when I met him, I was like, what is it like to meet a Hollywood superstar, Rich Evans? And he like told me about him and was like, oh yeah, you can't look him in the eye. He just doesn't like when people make eye contact with him. It was really funny.
Laura followed through. Sorry. She followed through with that, and I'm so proud of
him.
So Saber, the question was, how are you like?
I'm sorry, you cut out?
How do you like Minecraft?
I like it. I was talking to Peleo about this, how there's a resurgence going on with Minecraft right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of, it's great. Like there was that one meme where it had like Prince Zuko talking to Uncle Iroh being like, I'm so sorry I abandoned you. And then like Minecraft like is over Iroh's head. He's like, it's
God.
not that you left, it's that you might have lost your way. It's like, yeah, Minecraft is better than Fortnite. Fuck yeah. I've always been there for you. I love it. I enjoy it. I made a little hut. I've been digging. It's Zen. It's a very Zen game, and PanamaMatt might get into it. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay. What do you do? You just build?
Build shit and you do whatever you want. It's so fun.
You mine things so you can build things, and you build things so you can mine things.
Okay.
It's like raiding to get better gear, so you can raid more to get better gear.
I mean, I was legit going to say it too. No, like as soon as she said that, I was like, you say that like it's like, what's the point? And I'm like, it's kind of really the exact same as an MMO.
If any of you are looking for a good explanation of what Minecraft is, just look up zero punctuation Minecraft.
Yes.
If you don't mind a bit of swearing, and it is so appropriate for what Minecraft is.
I was just going to quote him for the Warcraft, where it's like, why do you need gear? Why do you raid to get gear? Why do you need gear to raid with? It's like, okay. All right, sorry. Thank you, Britt. Love you. Moving on.
Awesome. So Sadistic Spirit has sent in a super chat asking, anyone see the 3D animation by MLP Official?
Yes.
We did. We
I think everyone.
Hero, did you? We haven't heard your opinion on this, so.
Was Andrea doing the voice? I don't
think so.
Okay. No, it was someone different.
It was killing me.
What about the end when it was the flat?
Oh, at the end, yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
That's why it threw me off. I was like, that's definitely Andrea. What the? Yeah. Okay, I don't like it. I thought it was weird. It looks uncanny. It's gonna be so hard for Gen 5 to be any amount of pleasing to me because I'm so set in my ways with the way these characters
I don't think this is Gen 5.
Right. I'm just saying. That's a good
the same like kind of design or whatever.
Right, but that's just like a peer into the future. Like, hey, if they do anything to this character, I mean, it's gonna be like in a grumpy mood. So it's like, dang, I don't know what Gen 5 can do for me to like it. All that to say, her hair was detailed, but didn't look that good.
It was weird, right?
Everything was detailed.
There were I thought the expressions were fine. I thought that
like I think the best thing about it were the mouth movements.
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of like how Vanellope looks in Wreck-It Ralph. With her mouth movements. Yeah.
Visual jarringness aside, and the voice, because it's just different from what we're expecting. It was not horrible. I want to see what they
take it back.
I want to see what they do with it.
How dare you?
I'm not expecting much, but I thought some of the timing and some of the jokes were good.
Laura, is your name in this chat Johnny Strickland?
No.
No.
What?
Because Johnny Shicklin has the exact same profile picture as you do on Twitter.
Oh, interesting.
Wow,
Okay,
that is.
Can I say something quickly? I'm sorry, this is completely random. I just want to say before I forget it. Laura, there is a carousel sequence in the DC Superhero Girls show that you would like.
You what?
Sorry, I just wanted to say that. Sorry.
That sounds
Oh
like a
my God.
spoiler.
No,
We,
I'm very
like
excited
black
because
holes. I mean,
I
that's
really like carousel.
It was really cute. They had like unique designs for each of the carousels for the
Oh my
characters around it.
God.
I want to say this fast, actually. So, if you like My Little Pony, please check out DC Superhero Girls. Lauren created it. Larson works on it, so I guess that's the reason not to.
Yeah, first season's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix right now. It's good. It is a good show. I recommend it. Sorry, I just wanted to say, if you like ponies, you will like this.
Alrighty. We actually have a super chat from Riddle of Lightning,
Yes. Oh,
and
it did.
but it was tweeted to us, so we're gonna pull that.
Dang it! I thought you were gonna do the next one in the
No,
sequence.
I made it very.
One in the just to say, Ben's writer. We do save the podcast. We have our own separate channel that we upload our
Yep.
Recordings on. Semi Perfect Podcast on YouTube.
Yep.
All right, so let me get ready to pull this up. Okay.
All right. So here is the next question. Is this a question, or as the chat can see, is it just says his ashin?
Stop.
See?
His
ashin. But yeah, is this a question? And that's me eating all the Tim Tams. And
I love it.
with some
Lemonade.
lemonade Sprite.
Wait,
Love it.
I'm confused by
Who's that with
what
you?
part is your head?
So
That's
He's
brutal.
just become Tim Tams at this point. There is
Yes.
no head anymore.
yes, I
Oh, I
believe
see the dot.
that's
Other
me
character.
smiling,
Yeah.
laying on my side.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
Calcifer?
Feet. I think that's Riddle Lightning.
That's Riddle
Character.
Lightning.
Okay.
Yeah. Asking a question. Is this a question? Now, the answer to that is yes.
Yeah.
That is a good question. One of my favorites, in fact. Again,
Just wanna
Riddle
watch
Lightning,
that.
thank you so much for entertaining us here during the podcast. It has been so much fun to see all your art. I'm going to save all of it. I love all of it. Our next super chat, Anime Guy 01 asking, are you guys looking forward to It Chapter 2?
No.
Yes, I
Yes.
saw there's a girl who I follow on Twitter, and she's a big fan of Pennywise, and she said she got scared because she saw a review that said that it sucked, and my heart skipped a beat, and I'm like, please don't be bad. Please don't be bad. I need this. I want to be good.
It'll be curious, or not curious. What I want to do before I see it is I want to go back and watch the original It, and then watch the new one, and
Like
then
Tim Curry original.
Oh, PF
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
I want it because I haven't seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that one all the way through.
Oh, it's
Um,
tough
and
to get through.
it's long, isn't it?
It's long.
Yeah.
It's because it's a mini series, and also
that
somehow
why it's
by
that
like
long?
some miracle, the kid actors are better than the adult actors.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, you see the kid actors
Oh,
act, you're
no.
like, how? And then you see the adult actors, you're like, oh God, this is unbearable.
Oh, that's not good.
Clearly, they got it all out of the system when they were young.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So I'll be curious because isn't that what's happening here in the second one? Is now they're all adults,
Yeah, they're all gonna be adults.
which I'm kind of like, oh, like I really enjoyed the kids in the first one, so I'm like, oh.
I think I don't know how they're gonna play it because I mean, like, I've read the book, and most of the book is them as kids, and like then when they come back as adults, it's like a much smaller portion. And I just don't understand how this movie is going to be 3 hours long if the last one was like, you know, you're 2-ish. If it's less of the book.
It's gonna be 3 hours long. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
long,
2 hours
dude.
and 50 minutes or something.
That alone makes
I don't-
it scary.
I don't
They have
understand
an intermission.
how. Unless maybe they'll do like a
Yeah,
bunch
if
of
you wanna-
flashbacks or something. I have no idea.
Never mind, actually.
Our next super chat that we have here is from Mermaid, asking, from this mermaid, what's your craziest beach story?
I was thinking about this. So, no joke. I when I was a kid, I lived down near Miami. My family went to the beach one day, and I remember seeing this piece of rope floating in the waves, and the current was carrying it out. And my little child heart thought, "Oh no, a sea creature's going to swallow and die." Steven, you have to jump into action! And I swam into the waves, and I was terrified, though it was probably like only like 20 feet out. And I remember like the waves hitting me, and I'm like, do it for the animals. And I grabbed the rope, and I did it. I brought it back to shore, and I'm like, Mom, I did it! I saved the animals! And you all are welcome. That's why blue whales exist to this day. I saved them.
So I have a sadder story.
Good.
He let the rope go out to sea.
I was gonna ask if your mom did that actually.
So
at the end of the story.
When I lived in California for a little bit, I would like walk down to the beach a lot. And one time I walked down to the beach and I saw a sea lion dead, like washed up on the shore. I was like,
oh my god.
Yeah. And then like a week later, I went back to the beach and it was still there and it was bloated and rotted. And I was like, oh my god.
I guess it's just lying around.
Yeah, it was weird. Oh god.
Go on.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Because like like my mom and I like called like the Coast Guard or whatever.
I'm surprised they didn't come by to pick it up. Like,
yeah,
that seems like it's a pretty like it's kind of a downer.
Yeah,
Paleo burrowed a hole into it and lived inside.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Wow.
Wow, nicely played.
We saw a when we were at Pacific PonyCon that freaked us out because one of them like roared at us and we were like, back, run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've actually been like very close to harbor seals back when they allowed you to get closer to them in La Jolla in California. Because there's this place called Children's Cove in La Jolla where a bunch of harbor seals just kind of hang out, and I was able to get like yeah. Because originally it was just a place for like kids to like play because it was just sort of like this jetty out, and it was for sort of a safer area. But then the harbor seals just started using it, so they're like, oh well, it's theirs now. So yeah, so there's just harbor seals there that just hang out, and I was like able to get really close to them and take pictures. But now you're not allowed to do that anymore.
No.
I for my story, it's one of those kid logic stories where I don't know what I was trying to accomplish, but I really wanted to see how it was going to turn out. So I had family that actually lived up in British Columbia, on Vancouver Island, or the Vancouver Islands. And they're such a beautiful house. It was like 3 stories. There's a trail that goes down to the beach. And like, it was kind of more of like a bay type area, ferries and a whole bunch of ships kind of go through it. And it was, it would still have the effects of the tide. Well, I was down there with my sister and I was maybe like 10 years old. And I'm like, I'm going to go stand on that rock because I see that the tide's coming in. Mm-hmm. Well, I go out and it's like pretty far out there type of rock. And I'm not in like a swimsuit or anything. Like it's cold and I'm in, jeans and clothes. And I go and stand on this rock and I just watch as the water starts getting higher and higher around me until soon I believe there's no way of getting back.
Oh no.
And I'm just sitting here going, this is so interesting. I wonder how it's going to end. And of course it ends with my parents eventually like yelling from way up on the hill, like, what the hell are you doing? And it was about that time where I started thinking, what am I doing? What was the point of this? Why am I the rock?
And yet Gabe has his beat.
What? Oh yeah, Gabe has all of us beat. I like to be honest.
Broke my entire body when I jumped off a rock.
Well, I don't even remember how this ended. I just remember getting in trouble and still being on the rock. I did.
You just don't know how you got back.
I survived, and I'm sure my shoes got wet.
Yeah.
And my parents probably were like, "You dumb."
Dumb boy.
That's when they knew.
Yeah, that I'm dumb.
Is
Dumb
it
boy.
only then?
That's when they knew.
Only then.
Yeah, and then of course Gabe's story of him jumping off a cliff that he climbed up and then was like, oh,
Yeah.
and broke.
I think the most exciting things that have happened to me on a beach is seeing a green sea turtle.
Nice.
And I got to hold a green monkey baby.
Oh,
Green
yeah.
monkey.
Ooh.
Which because we were in a
Our honeymoon. the
yeah,
Caribbean.
that was the Caribbean. Which do you know which island it was? St. Kitts, maybe?
I can't remember.
But there was a guy like going along the beach and he had
Who was it? Somebody had
Hero-
family, right? Hero.
Yeah, Hero.
My family in St. Kitts.
Yeah.
That's where my family's from. Yeah.
Yeah, we were on a beach there and a guy was coming around with like a baby green monkey and he's like, hey, you want to hold the monkey? And then like he literally like tossed it in my lap and I'm like, what?
Sure.
Watch out, those monkeys will steal your stuff.
What was nice though, like, because it wasn't like one of those awkward like where the guy's like, I can get the monkey off of you for a price.
No.
Like,
No, he was very nice and like he was just like generally just showing people a good time and like he didn't ever like ask for money, but I did give him money because I'm like that was cool.
yeah, that was, cool.
It was a good experience. So
Yeah.
I'm like, here you go.
The monkey wore a diaper
Does he give the monkey like $1?
No.
for a good time. Call monkey.
Nah.
Do we have another super chat? Did everyone get through their beach stories? By the
Matt,
way,
what about you, bro? What about your stories?
If you consider being on a dock near the water, technically being on a beach, because we're talking northern Washington,
Yeah.
I was up there for a fishing trip with a friend of mine, and the water there is so crystal clear. It looks so refreshing. You can see right down to the bottom, which is easily 40 feet down. And I'm thinking that, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen water this clear, this refreshing. I think I kind of want to hop in and take a swim. And as I'm pondering that, I see down in the depths a jellyfish of about a foot in diameter,
Ooh.
just kind of gradually bobbing there. And I instantly rethought every plan I was about to make. So
My
thankfully I saw that before hopping in. The actual beach story I have, I was body surfing. The wave picked up a little more than I was expecting, flung me over the falls, so it lifted me up and just tossed me to the dirt below.
Oh gosh.
And as I'm recovering from suddenly contacting the ground, the wave recedes back into the water, dragging me with it.
Oh no.
It then lifts me up into the next one, and like a washing machine, I then proceed to tumble through the surf, periodically not knowing when I'm taking my next breath.
Did you live?
No, I died.
I knew it.
No, I after what felt like 4 or 5 times of the rinse cycle, I was able to get solid footing in the dirt and pull myself forward.
Nothing really reminds you of your like
Mortality.
Yes, I'm with you. Where like then panicking that you can't find your way out of water. Like,
Oddly enough, I was surprisingly comfortable with the whole ordeal. It's like, well, I'm just going to breathe when I can, and eventually it'll work.
I've had a moment where like, not to sound grim, but like I almost crashed and I was pretty sure I was gonna die in said crash, and my brain was like, well, it's okay, I guess. And then another part of my brain's like, fuck no, it's not.
It's like you're in like a very easy situation to get like to survive, and you're just sitting there accepting it. Like, oh,
well, no.
Right.
What happened is I hydroplaned. I was driving a car, duh, and
on my feet.
Yeah,
On my rollerblades.
I was using my Heelys and I hydroplaned semi-truck. No, I was driving my car back from Nashville, Tennessee. This big semi-truck in front of me stopped, and I hit the brakes. I was gliding towards it, and I'm like, well, this is it. I'm dead. Because there's no other way for me to turn. I was like, either I turned left and hit like this barrier that would have just guided me to the truck anyway, or I turned right and crashed into a car. Well, the car to my right hit the brakes hard. A gap opened up, and that's when my brain's like, yeah, that's the ticket right there. Go off the side of the road, just cut through this car. And that's how I survived.
Always aim your car for the thing that, well, I say this with an asterisk, but in racing, you always choose to hit the car instead of a wall, and a semi truck counts as a wall. I was gonna say I wouldn't apply this exactly like in real life because I don't want people, human beings, because they're like, well, those will move. But yeah. All right, so here's a quick question I got for me. By the way, we're gonna go till about 8:05, so about 8 more minutes of questions here, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. I have a question here from Dream Sketcher asking, would I ever attend a furry convention? Do you guys think I would ever attend a furry convention?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there you go. I'm also like,
You should attend that adult one that's happening in Las Vegas.
Yeah, apparently Corey's in charge of it.
Race's record with Las Vegas-based conventions is.
don't blame me for this.
I didn't blame you for it. I'm just saying the last time you went to one out there was less than expected.
True, so everyone knows that was Las Vegas. You know, there was a convention for My Little Pony since then, but I wasn't personally there. So.
Oh, was there? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I just want to make sure everyone else
Race,
did.
yeah,
I appreciate that.
We were gonna have Chick-fil-A, but then I found out that they marinate their chicken in pickle
No,
sauce.
still gonna have Chick-fil-A.
Okay, I guess we're still going to Chick-fil-A. One other quick
He just
question
won't eat.
here. Waddles is asking, to race, since you went to Australia, how weird is the time zone different from the US time zone? It was weird because it was 16 and a half hours different.
What?
Yeah, that was
16
like
and 1/2.
When I looked it up, I went, one of these is wrong because it was off by 30 minutes. But they have a 30-minute time zone in Australia for some reason.
That's fascinating.
It was weird.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, so that threw me off even worse with trying to figure out what time it was when I was probably calling all of you at 4 a.m, being like, "Hey, hi, I'm in Australia. Answer the phone."
Hey, I'm in Australia.
Let's see here. There was a question that I saw that I was like, "Oh, this would be a fun." Okay, Soren's got a question. Asking, first off, mentions, I'm not going to ask this to be a question. ACRacebest knows I will. It was so surreal getting to meet you all at BronyCon. So my question is this. Do you have any cool stories about people you looked up to a lot that you finally got to meet in person and greet?
And just greet them in general?
Like someone you looked up to and got to meet in person.
I met Patton Oswalt yesterday.
Nice.
That was very timely.
Yeah.
I met Saberspark, and he was a massive dick.
You're allowed to should have said the C word.
I saw that
Figuratively or
asshole
literally?
this morning, and I just my vein in my neck started pulsing. And I'm like, fucking
Which neck?
the one in my pants. I remember, like, okay, so it's kind of hard when you meet your heroes because you never know they're having an off day. But at the same time, like, I don't know, there was this Christian, like, preacher who I looked up to back in, like, 2000.
Oh, is this the Kevin Ham story?
No, it's this guy named Ray Comfort who's kind of in the same, like,
Oh, that's the same guy.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, the
Comfort?
same kind of guy. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
And
Well, I
that's the
mean,
story.
Comfort. It's funny because he's actually Australian, so it's kind of good context.
Yeah.
And I looked up to him,
the
right?
banana guy, right?
Yeah, he's the one who said, like, if intelligent design is fake, then explain bananas. And then people
Oh.
are like, you do realize bananas were, like, bioengineered by humans, right? And he's like, well, oops. So because I was a big time, like, creationist back in the day. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be a Christian apologist, and like that's my thing. And I remember going to a church thingy where the Ray Comfort guy was at, and I just randomly saw him in the hallway walking to the bathroom. I'm like, hey Ray, like I really appreciate you, dude. And he was like, oh, thanks. Have you ever seen one of these before? And he pulled out like this Bible track out of his pocket. And he's like, that right there is the $1 million question. Where are you going to go when you die? And I just kind of stood there and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then he like walks away and didn't even say goodbye to me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm done here. Which isn't me knocking on, if you're Christian or not. It's just that was a weird experience. And ever since I've kind of been like, okay, I think I'm done with this chapter. So
for me, I remember as a kid, the first time I ever got like truly happily emotional was when I met
emotional.
Well, like in the sense of like to tear levels. I was like, oh my gosh, this does happen. And I was a kid and always was rooting for this one race car driver on TV, Terry Labonte. And they did these like race fest things, weekends when NASCAR would come to town, and you can meet. It was like hosted by Ralph's, and they had like these select number of drivers that would be there, and you can meet them, and I got to meet Terry Labonte and tell him that he was my favorite driver. Like literally, like from the time that I chose a driver that I wanted to root for. And I don't know if it was because he drove the Kellogg's cornflake car, and I was just like, yeah, that's the one. But yeah, and
that's a legitimate reason. That's fine.
Yeah, and I was so like meeting Terry Labonte. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And when I walked away, I was in near tears because I was so happy. And I'm like, wow, this happened. It's not just a movie thing.
You met Demi Lovato.
So Sarah, we're going to share some art to finish this off because I think it's very appropriate.
Sarah, what are you gonna get at the restaurant?
What are you gonna get at the restaurant?
I'm gonna get the grilled chicken bits with fries.
Nice.
What is the thing that Steven Universe orders?
Just the bits of the fries.
Just the bits.
Just the bits.
Steven's such like a crybaby. It's like, oh no, Garnet!
I was there, Pearl.
I need you all to stop fighting. I would love it actually if like in this new movie coming up, there's this entire spiel where Steven's like, and that's why we all need to be friends. And the villain just stands there, and then her eye twitches, and she's like, and then she just takes his face and launches it into like a stone wall.
And then the credits roll, and then there's never another episode of that show.
I like it when villains do that, where they plead to them, and the villains are like, I don't give a damn about your feelings. Like I'm bad. Yeah, die.
The picture we have up on this by Beach Boys Fan Forever. And it's Rainbow Dash about to be sent to the moon by saying, I didn't learn anything. So that's going to be a wrap on the Semi-Perfect Podcast here tonight. We will be back in 2 weeks. Sarah, what date is that? That is the 4th of September. We're going to go in
July.
The 4th of July.
Right
September.
after Steven Universe.
Oh, there you go. So September 4th, we will be back here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. A lot of vlogs to come from Alicon, so stay tuned for those as they show up throughout the week. Again, we want to thank all of our super chatters.
Exio Dying, Missy, Jinjal, Simon, Stone, Sadistic Spirit, Cadet Redshirt, Emily May Boxall, Britt Fields, Anime Guy, Nora Mermaid, and Riddle of Lightning. And also thank you, Riddle of Lightning and Beach Boys Fan Forever for all of the art that you
Yeah. Riddle, you cracked me up this
Oh my god, so good.
entire hour, 2
I
hours.
really want to commission Riddle to do a piece of all of us for the
for the podcast?
Yeah.
That'd be
Yes.
There you go. There you go. So again, a special thanks out to Riddle of Lightning, and of course another special thank you to Missy, who's always super generous in the super chat ranks, and all of our super chatters. Thank you again. Like we said, we'll be back on September 4th. Thank you for tuning in on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. We love all of our audience, whether you're listening live or on delay. Thank you to all the people on the podcast here tonight. Thank you for hearing my defense of Rainbow Dash, and good night, everybody.
And
Good
remember,
night.
race must all.
Damn ponies.
Rainbow Dash sucks. The end.
Good day, mate.